What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to the MMA Savvy Podcast. It's your favorite host, Ari Weiss, and today we'll be discussing UFC 320 Ankalaev versus Pereira 2 that went down Saturday night in Las Vegas. Then we'll deep dive the light heavyweight division and the bantamweight division and analyze what's next for Pereira and Merab. In standard Savvy fashion, we'll go through the card, break down all the big fights, and analyze what's next for all the winning fighters. So with that, let's go straight to the card and get moving. Let's go, baby. UFC 320, Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. I had been saying that the main event wasn't going to be great, and man, was I wrong. I'll be the first one to say it, baby. And this is what we needed. There was a little shot in the arm. We needed a little UFC wake-up party, if you will. The last couple weeks, there had been some light cards, and then we had the bye week, and then boom. We had been saying it was going to be the card of the year, and maybe it was true, baby. What an event. Ankalaev Pereira 2 brought it. Tons of finishes, crazy action, and I was wrong, Richie boy, okay? You made amazing analysis. Pereira is the guy, and Wally might like Pereira now. We'll see. Usually I come around if you're a great champion, and what's so crazy about this story is he might not just be one of the better light heavyweights in the world, he might be one of the best fighters ever now. Who would have thought 3 years ago? I thought as soon as he ran into a wrestler, his run was over. And no, he comes back and he's going to be a bigger star now. So let's break this down. We're just going to go down to Jiri, number 2 light heavyweight in the world, versus Khalil Rountree Jr. at number 4. In our pre-fight analysis, we did talk about how pivotal this fight was. And this could be fight of the year, maybe one of the better fights in the last 5 years. Richie and I took Rountree, Nico had Jiri, and what a fight. The weirdest thing was the first couple rounds, Rountree did exactly what we said he was going to do. He looked spectacular. The power, the precision, the tactical approach. He was going right after Jiri. Rountree hit his legs. It looked like he kind of came up lame. Even Dean Thomas jumped in and was like, what the hell is going on with Procházka? It just didn't look like he was the same guy. He didn't want to get in a firefight with Rountree because of Rountree was just coming straight right down the center with amazing power. He was hitting him with the leg kicks. So the first round goes Rountree. Nico shocked. Jiri was down, baby. So second round, more of the same. There was a couple points where, oh my God, Procházka looks like he might get finished. I thought it was over. Rountree a couple times almost tagged him. He does get round 2. And then round 3 then becomes one of the craziest rounds in UFC history. And Procházka comes back like he always does, like a Viking killer, and he wouldn't be deterred. I saw it turning a little bit near the end of the second. He landed a couple jabs, and I said, okay, let's be careful here. But Rountree was up 2 rounds. And then boom, Procházka comes crazy in the third round. He throws everything, elbows, punches, knees, and all of a sudden he starts turning the fight. With a 30-second period, it looked like, okay, we're going to get this decision to, oh my God, there's major trouble here. And then Procházka does it. He lands 2 different killer lefts. Rountree goes down. It's over. Jiri shocks the world. He's still relevant. I don't know if he's going to get a title shot next, but what a performance. Unbelievable. Nico thinks he should get the trilogy, but I don't think he'll get it, baby. Now, you go to the co-main event, champ Merab Dvalishvili versus number 4 in the world, Cory Sandhagen. Another great fight. Now listen, first round, Cory looked great. I believe Cory wins the first round there. He outpoints him. He's able to defend a lot of takedowns. And then when he does get taken down, boom, they pop right back up. His takedown D and the drilling that he did in his camp was stellar, even throughout the whole fight, because actually it wasn't really the wrestling that turned it. It was Merab's hands in the second round. That's the crazy thing. He hits him with a bunch of punches and almost finishes Sandhagen. They were a punch away from stopping that fight, but good, no stoppage there. They kept it going, but then after that, then Merab just kept getting relentless with the takedown after takedown. It became sort of the standard Merab fight. He took him into deep waters. He was taking him down much more easily. Sandhagen, though, give him credit. In the third, in the fourth, and the fifth round, he rallies. He's there, especially in the fourth round. He's probably down 2-1 at this point, maybe even more because of the 10-8 round. But he really rallied in round 4. He got a couple great punches, and he might have almost been able to win that round. But then at the end, Merab with another takedown, some ground and pound, and I think he steals round 4. And it all comes down to round 5. Cory, again, give him credit. It's a valiant effort. What a great performance by Sandhagen. But we keep saying what a great performance in a loss. loss because Merab is he's just relentless, man. I mean, what do you do with the machine? He's just probably the best wrestler in the entire UFC. The gas tank, he weaponizes time after time. And even though Sandhagen was game, Merab is just that much better. And it wasn't just the wrestling, because it was the hands in round 2 that turned the fight. I still look back and I wonder if Sandhagen hadn't been caught and really hurt in round 2, I don't know if Merab would have been easily able to get the takedowns the whole rest of the fight. So it probably changed the fight, but either way, he got 4 rounds to 1 on most judges' scorecards. So Merab, what does he get next? Okay, baby, let's take a little look at the bantamweight division. This is what we always do. What is next for Merab? It can't be O'Malley because he's already lost twice. There's rumors O'Malley is going to be fighting Yadong, but it's not booked yet. Umar is the big fight. He's the only one I see in the top 5 that has a chance to contend with the premier and world-class wrestling of Merab. But Umar already booked against Bautista, who's no slouch, who just ran through Patchy Mix at number 8. So Umar, later this month in Abu Dhabi, is fighting Bautista. He's got to get through him first, and then he'll be the clear-cut number 1 contender. But we do have Petr Yan. That's the other guy. Merab already beat him, but it was a, somewhat closely contested fight. Merab shot for like 50-something takedowns. So those are the guys that you're going to have to look out for, because Yadong, I don't see him being able to challenge a Merab yet. Maybe if he keeps improving. We got Vera. He's booked against Sahabi coming up, and I don't really see anybody else. Figgy, he's booked against Montel Jackson, but none of those people in the 6 through 11 arena look like they can really challenge a Merab. So it's got to be an Umar rematch if he gets through Bautista, or maybe a Petr Yan. Other than that, I don't really want to see a Sandhagen rematch. Maybe if Yadong runs through O'Malley, possibly, but it's really Umar and Petr Yan are the only ones. Maybe Merab eventually goes up to featherweight, but he might be too short. So anyway, sky is the limit for the champ. He's going to go down now as one of the best bantamweight fighters of all time. To the main event, baby. Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. I couldn't have had it more incorrect. I thought Ankalaev was going to do the same thing that he did last time. And I just thought the wrestling and the striking of Ankalaev was just going to be too much. And Pereira wasn't going to adjust enough. I kept saying, why would the second fight be different? But I guess Rich was right. I guess Pereira was injured. He was sick. Maybe he was out there driving around flashy cars. Who knows? But this was a brand new Pereira. Holy Lord. I'm shocked. I mean, just take a gander at this. So let's go through the fight. I mean, it only went 1 minute and 30 seconds. Ankalaev was never even in the fight. The first fight, it was much more close, but this time Pereira came out like a viper, like a wolf, like Poatan should. And he listened to everybody in the booth like me saying he's not aggressive enough in the first fight. He wasn't going for broke. What's his deal? And he came and silenced all the doubters. And the crazy thing is we always talk about his left, but it was the right that landed. Boom. And it was like almost like a delayed reaction. Ankalaev goes down and he was done. He has ungodly power, as our guy Joe Rogan has talked about. If Pereira lands, especially on the temple, on the side of the head, you might be finished. And I was kind of surprised because Ankalaev, at least he shot for a single, but then he just kind of laid back and just gave up the fight. I was almost screaming because my pick was on the line. I had Ankalaev, like, grab a leg, do something here. And he just basically gave up, but he was so hurt. That just showcases Pereira's power. Pereira goes for the elbows. It's over. Great stoppage. And boom, I will admit to everybody right here, man, I had this wrong. Pereira is the man. Wally was wrong. We're going here on live TV. You guys were smarter, Richie. Great game plan. And now I won't doubt Poatan. I won't doubt him again, baby, because he's proved against a great fighter. Ankalaev hadn't lost in 8 years. I mean, this is crazy what he did. So now let's look at the light heavyweight division. Pereira, obviously, this hasn't adjusted yet. He's the champ of the world. So it really comes down, if you look at this top 5, Jiri won, but he's already lost to Pereira pretty handedly twice. Even with his valiant, one of the greatest showcase fights we've ever seen in UFC history, I don't think it's enough to have him go above Ulberg, because Ulberg is new blood. Pereira's never fought him, and he had that unbelievable 1-2 knockout against Reyes. So I think it's going to be Pereira, Ulberg, but Jiri will be in the discussion. Blachowicz not booked with anybody. Rountree now, devastatingly, because he was a round away from getting a win. I say what goes down here is it's going to be Jiri Ankalaev and Ulberg, Pereira. That seems to be what is fair because Rakic at number 7 is booked against Murzakanov later in this month. If Murzakanov gets another big knockout, he'll be in the discussion, but not for a title shot yet. He's still too far down. So it's got to be Ulberg, Pereira for the title, probably in the Q1 of next year, because I don't think Pereira is going to do the same thing he did before and fight too regularly. He's getting a little bit older. The other last little thing I'll say is Pereira might just say, I'm moving to heavyweight. I'm sick of the weight cut, which he's been saying. That would rob us of these matchups. That could be a potential for Pereira just leaving, and then it changes everything. Then it becomes maybe Jiri Ulberg for the vacant title. Anyway, that is the Savvy analysis of the light heavyweight division. Okay, that's it for this week. Thank you for listening to the MMA Savvy Podcast, the world's top place for MMA content. If you love these weekly episodes, make sure to hit subscribe. And if you're a real MMA enthusiast, check out the old MMA Savvy videos on our page. You might see some UFC legends pop up, such as Nick Diaz, Ronda Rousey, and John Jones. The old channel has been revived, and we couldn't be more excited. So please subscribe, follow, like, share, and blast on all of our social channels. We're blasting hard on the talk, we're heavy on the grab, and we're going crazy on the tube. That's at MMA Savvy. And make sure to comment and challenge our takes if you have disagreements. We love the comments and interactions with the fans. So with that, stay savvy, fight fans.